So we're live again. So welcome back everyone for the second Zero Emissions Accelerator live session. My name is Robin Teurlings. I will be your host and presenter for today. We're going to cover two topics today. So it's a little bit different from the interview that we had last week with Clemens. I promised you last week to give you a little bit more information about the Zero Emissions Accelerator, what the program is, what the plans are, what the planning are, etc., etc. I specifically asked the participants of the program to break into my presentation in case they have questions. So that's what I will talk about first. Second part of this session, I will go into how to actually build your green startup. It's really a basics session. Depending on where you are with your company, that's going to be more or less relevant. But we're trying to be a program for all stages of startup entrepreneurs. So that's why we decided to start up with this. Okay, so you might already know, but for those who haven't heard me present before, the Zero Emissions Accelerator is a free and we added pragmatic program. By pragmatic, we mean it's quite different from other programs in the sense that we actually try to organize this as lightweight for the entrepreneurs who join the program as we can. So there's very few mandatory parts of this program. There are a few, which I will mention in a minute. But a lot of it's up to you if you join and if you feel it's valuable to you. If you don't think it's valuable, it's totally fine. We're not going to force you to actually do it or attend. Secondly, one of the benefits of the program, obviously, is that we will invest at the end of the program, which I will talk about for a second as well. You can make use of a lot of mentors that we have arranged for all the participants to the second and third phase of this program. And you will have access to investors and customers around the world. We run everything online, so there might be an event at some point in time physically somewhere around the world, but you can participate totally online. To register, it's very simple. Go to the startupbuddy.co. I think the second screen during registration, you will see a small, tiny square where it says, I have a program code. Make sure to tick that. And then you will see a field where you can add a program code. That program code should be Zero Emissions Accelerator. From there on, we'll keep you updated about all the events, all the information that you need to know. You can use the platform for free, etc., etc. So today, I like to answer a couple of questions that I've heard over the past couple of weeks. First of all, why do we even do this? Well, it's quite simple. Claudia and me are simply looking to find 1 to maximum 3 great green startups that we like to invest in. I'm specifically saying great green tech startups. So we're not going to invest in all of the companies making it till the end of the program. Throughout this program, we like to get to know you, figure out what you're doing, get to know you as an entrepreneur, because that's very important for us, who you are. And by the end of the program, we plan to invest in a few of these companies. Along this process, we actually look to support as many startups as we can. We already have 31 companies who registered for the program. Sorry, we had 53 companies registering, 31 we accepted into the program. And we hope to end up in January with roughly 50 or maybe more companies. The setup. We're running this program over a long period of time. So the throughput time of the program will be 9 months. And that 9 months will be divided in 3 stages. And you progress through to every stage by handing in the assignment that we will require at the end of every stage. The first stage that we're currently in will be till January. So by February, we will go to the growth stage. And roughly in July, we will go to the investment stage. It works with up or out, meaning that by the end of every phase, we ask you to hand in a mandatory assignment. So that is mandatory. We'll assess that. We'll look if you're on par of what we're expecting at that stage of the program. If you're very interesting to us, you will continue to the next stage. If not, you're welcome to stay on the platform and join again next year, but you will not progress to the next stage of this live program. Like I already said, I get a lot of questions about how much time is this going to cost me. It depends. So we'll do live sessions like this regularly, roughly every 2 weeks. There will be the opportunity to get connected to mentors. In the second stage, those mentors will be content mentors and people who can help you connect to customers. In the final stage, those mentors will be investors, so people who will help you to actually get ready for the fundraising. You can do the entire program just by doing the mandatory assignments. Then you are done probably in 4 or 5 hours if everything is already done within your company. This is in theory, I don't know. If you are only in ideation stage at this point, it will be tough. 9 months sounds like a long time, but all entrepreneurs here who have been building their company for a while, getting ready to actually receive a check in 9 months from now, or actually by now it's 8.5 months, will be tough. So you will have a lot of work. What we try to do is only make you do stuff that you have to do anyway to build your company. So you're not doing it specifically for us. We'll help you figure out what to do, but you're doing it for yourself. You will need to do this work anyway, in our opinion, for your business. There's a few things that are mandatory. Like I already mentioned, there will be 3 assignments. At the end of every stage, there will be an assignment. The first assignment, for those of you who've been in business for a longer time, should be fairly simple. It will be handing in your pitch deck. There is one caveat here. In the live sessions that we started 2 weeks ago, the speakers, including myself, will usually mention 1 or 2 or 3 things that we find very important to see in that pitch deck. So if we don't see it in there, that's probably going to be a hurdle for you to progress to the next stage. So you don't have to follow all the live sessions. We will be posting, and on the platform we'll ask you specifically for that information as well once the due date for the assignment is. But do pay attention to it. So for example, Clemens 2 weeks ago, he mentioned that your pitch deck should be very crisp and very easy to understand. If that's not the case, that's going to be a problem for the assignment and for us to let you continue to the next stage. At the end of the second stage, we'll focus on your growth. So did you actually get more customers? Did you manage to get more revenue in that period of that phase? The final stage will be getting investment ready. And that means that by the end of the program, like I already mentioned, we want to be able to invest. So it means that by the end of the program, your deal room, your due diligence, everything should be done by then, on all the information that we need to actually do that should be available. Like I already said, if you have raised 3 rounds, this is going to be a breeze. If you have never raised funding before, this is going to be a lot of work. But you will have to do it anyway. So that's why we try to structure it this way. The second mandatory thing, when you progress from stage 1 to stage 2, we'll ask you to basically agree to a participation contract. That participation contract will be that you will handle all the information that you get from your fellow entrepreneurs, that you will handle it confidently. Obviously, not the information that we're sharing on YouTube, but there will be one-to-one discussions as well. So we want all of you to make sure that you are basically good entrepreneurs towards each other. That will be covered in that contract. Secondly, in that contract, we'll cover what the investment rules will be towards the end of the program. To put it very simple, there will be a discount on the value that we agree to at the end of the program for your company for the Zero Emissions Fund, so for Claudia and myself. You have to agree to that before you go into phase 2. You can always opt not to accept our investment at the end of the program. So you're not signing that you're agreeing to get invested by us under those terms. You're agreeing to get invested by us under those terms if we actually get to an agreement on the investment. Finally, throughout the program, we expect everybody to treat each other respectfully and be good people, basically. So that will be in the contract as well. The contract does not tie you to the program, so you can still drop out anytime that you want, that you feel it's not for you or whatever. But we'll set the rules for the remaining 6 months of the program at the start. The third thing that will be mandatory is that if you want mentors, and again, we will ask you for the first assignment to indicate if you're looking for mentors, and if yes, what kind of mentors. If you opt in, so if you're asking for mentors, then you're required to actually make sure that you're available and put in the time with those mentors. We don't want to waste their time for people not showing up. So if you feel it's not valuable for you to have a mentor, that's totally fine. You don't have to, but then don't say that you need one. Vice versa, if you're not showing up and we're getting to hear that you're not showing up, that will be a problem for us. Okay. Then what's coming up in the next couple of weeks? The third live session will be in 2 weeks from now. It will be done by Claudia. You haven't met her like presenting yet, but together we're running the Zero Emissions Fund. She's extremely good at this. I'm not very objective about this, but she's very good at this. The Green Tech Product Development session that she will be running is part of a program that she's also teaching partly at MIT and a few other universities, and that she's been developing in previous jobs. She will basically share how you assume that you don't have a product yet, or maybe you have a product but you don't feel it's good enough yet, what different ways there are to make it better very quickly. So that will be in 2 weeks from now. Apart from that, we will have more interviews with investors and entrepreneurs from around the world. In December, we'll have a huge impact investor based in the Netherlands who will share what they're investing in and what's important for them to look at. The final session for this phase will be what I call a pitch drill session. What that means is quite simple. I will share what we believe should always be in your pitch deck. Again, some of you might already have a great pitch deck, so maybe not that useful, but I recommend joining for that session for sure to make sure that you cover everything that will require from you in the final assessment. You can apply to the program till January, like I mentioned before. In January, if you like, you can schedule a call with me for half an hour, so that we first of all get to know each other more personally, because these are mostly group sessions. Secondly, that you can share what would be best for you to get out of this program. And thirdly, I will help you on any questions that you're running around with at the moment. We'll do this just before the registration close, so you can ask your final questions about the program as well. It's optional. I will share my calendar with you, and then you can decide if you want to do that or not. Like I said, in January, we will require you to send in your pitch deck. If we don't have it, even though you did register for the program, you will drop out. You will get reminders about that, but this is mandatory. Then in February, we'll go to the second stage, like I already said, which is the growth stage. So by then, we will assume your company is set up, you have a product set up, everything is there to actually start building your business and go to customers. And we'll start having more sessions specifically about that. Then finally, a few FAQ things that came up in different talks that I had with people that I like to answer. So first of all, quite a few of you are a little bit concerned about how much time they need to put in. Some of you have been in previous accelerators, and some of those accelerators require you 1, 2, 3 days of work per week. We don't. Also because we don't have that much time. We're looking to structure this program in a way that we get out of it what we're looking for. interesting companies to invest in and supporting as many companies as we can. And we're looking to do this in a way that helps you. So we'll just try to organize things and make you do stuff that you, in our opinion, you will have to do anyway. If you already raised funding for your company before, most of what we will ask you should already have, and you can probably do the entire 9 months in roughly 4 to 6 hours total by uploading the pitch decks and doing the assignments that we're asking for. However, if you are currently only having an idea, you didn't develop your product yet, you didn't register yet, you haven't done anything yet, it will be a lot of time, but all of that work you will have to do anyway to build your business, in our opinion. How much time that is, I have no idea. Depends on you. Secondly, the investment. We will look at the quality of the companies that we have by the end of the program. And we hope to do 3 investments. Maybe it will be 1 investment. Worst case, it could be 0. If we don't end up with what we're hoping for, we're not going to invest like any other investor. If we do invest, the Zero Emissions Fund will do tickets between 10 and 25,000 euros. That's roughly what we're able to do. But I think what's more important for most of you, especially the entrepreneurs who are further along in their journey, we're doing this together with a lot of other investors. We already have commitments of 30 investors that will help us run this program. And some of those investors are really big. The biggest one we have in the portfolio right now runs a fund for $430 million US. So they can run very big tickets. They will actually look at the companies that graduate from our program too. Maybe they co-invest with us, maybe they invest themselves and we don't join. So potentially you can raise your entire round, depending on who's interested in the company. The mentors I already mentioned, you don't have to take the mentoring. So if you feel I've been mentored way too much already in this lifetime, then just tell us. It's fine. You focus on your business. We will only match you to mentors if you opt in, and we'll only match you to mentors that make sense for what you do. Hopefully we can find suitable mentors for all of you. I think so, but we'll have to see. Basically, make sure that you're clear to us what you're looking for, what's most valuable to you. Finally, the program itself. Claudia and I have a lot of experience working with startups, but ideally, we do stuff throughout this program that helps you the best. So if there's something that you feel, okay, this would really help me, this is what I'm stuck at, this is what I'm still not clear about, basically let us know. We'll look into our network. Maybe we can do it ourselves. Maybe we can do a one-to-one call, whatever. Help us build this program. We don't have a prefixed idea of this is what we're going to do in the next couple of months. So it's up to you. If at the end of the program we didn't cover something that you really needed, you should have told us. Okay, so that's a lot of talking by myself. Are there any questions about the program, about what I just covered? Anything that you'd like further clarification on, etc.?
Can you give an example of what kind of assignments, or what would the assignments look like apart from just registration and the pitch deck?
Yeah, so registration, all of you who are in the call have this covered, otherwise you wouldn't have gotten this invite. Pitch deck, it's a pitch deck, 10, 15, maximum 20 pages. We'll cover what should be in the pitch deck. Quite frankly, nowadays with ChatGPT, you can find a standard pitch deck virtually anywhere. You will have to upload it on the same platform that you also registered on. We'll inform you about that. So you can do it already now, but if you do it closer to January, I think it will be better. The second stage will be the growth stage. By then, we'll want to have information about where you started at the start of that stage with your sales, with your customers, etc., and where you ended up that stage. We'll expect growth. It's quite simple. So if you made $0 at the start and you made $5 at the end, for some companies, that might still be the necessary growth that we're looking for, because you might only have validated a little bit what you're doing. Well, $5 is not great, but anyway, you get my point. You might have new collaborations. Sorry, it disappeared from my screen. I don't know if that happened to you too. We'll look at things that indicate that there's actually demand for what you do in the market, and that's what you should be working on in terms of what we're asking for. The third stage will be your fundraising. In the third stage, we will do due diligence on your company, meaning that you will have to set up a deal room where you have your financials, where you have the status of your company, where you have all the legal work. To be clear, in the second and the third stage, all that information you're sharing with us, not amongst each other. But it's the same kind of information that any investor will typically ask you for fundraising as well.
Okay. And are there certain criteria to what kind of businesses you're looking at?
No, great question. Sorry, I said no. Obviously, this is we're called the Zero Emissions Fund, meaning that we're focusing on green technology, climate tech, and sustainability companies. So if you're not working on that, you're a fintech company doing great stuff in finance, that's fantastic, but we will not invest, and you will probably not progress to the second stage. If you are in this sector, so sustainability, climate tech, green technology, then we are agnostic in what specific industry you are in. The reason we are doing this with a lot of mentors and investors in our network is because we, Claudia and I, cannot assess all of your companies. My background is primarily in software and finance, so that's the kind of companies that I can assess. But we are very specifically interested in all kinds of other stuff as well. For example, we have already invested in a cement company, which is really not my profession, but we were able to do that because of the input and the knowledge of other investors. We will be doing the same for this program. So as an investor, we know what we're looking for. As a service or product, we will be asking other people in our network if what you do makes sense if we cannot assess it.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have a question. So thank you very much for the session. The platform is quite nice. It's like gamified and nice, right? But can I download the stuff that I upload, like export?
I think we took that out.
Because like I'm doing all the work, right? And then I then got... Even if you don't invest later, I can use the product that I created, right? So it would be nice.
Okay. If you like a download from your information, just let me know. For sure, I can download it. I honestly have to check. I think we took out the download button for privacy reasons. We used to have it. I don't think we have it anymore.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Sorry, if I might just ask a question, is there a timeline that you're looking to start, and is there like hard deadlines to when this will start and when this would end in terms of the cohort?
Yeah, let me add on one thing for Ishar. All the information that you're putting in the platform is yours. It's only going to be shared with mentors if you decide to connect to a mentor and add them to a team. So I just wanted to let you know that as well. Obviously, we have access to it as well.
That's good.
So, Justin, for your question, so we started 2 weeks ago, effectively. The program will run roughly 9 months, meaning that we should finish by July. It can be a few weeks later, it can be a few weeks shorter. It depends also a little bit on availability of speakers and our own time, etc. We don't have a hard deadline. The only deadline that you need to remember right now is January. We'll inform you about the other ones. After the first stage, it's also easier for us to actually plan because we will know how many companies we have and plan more ahead and give you more of the dates. In case you're asking this because of fundraising or how you run your business, there will be nothing in this program preventing you from doing anything you want to do anyway.
Right. Okay.
I'm not sure. I think I saw another question or another pop-up. Can you shout out if that was you? Okay. If not, I will continue to the content for today. I made a small mistake in the introduction for today because it said building your green startup in 60 minutes, but that was forgetting about these 27 minutes so far. We will finish at 11 o'clock my time, and we'll use the second part probably for next session. And I also want to make sure to have some time for Q&A. Like I already said, why do we cover this? The entrepreneurs in this program are very, very varied. You guys and ladies are around the world in all kinds of industries, in all kinds of stages of your development. And we're trying to help all of you. If you are in Series C, you will not hear anything the next couple of weeks that you probably by now didn't discover yourself. But we're starting from scratch because you might only run around with an idea, and we actually want to welcome you into this program as well. So that's why we're starting with the basics. It's going to be pretty quick because for the more experienced entrepreneurs, you should have covered this by now. First of all, I never actually introduced myself in the previous session and this session. I'm originally Dutch. I'm 48 years old by now, and I've done quite a lot of stuff over time. This is actually outdated by now as well. A lot of the work that I do nowadays is on teaching. So together with Claudia, for example, I also teach green technology at NUS, the National University in Singapore, and a few other institutions. In my professional career, before becoming an entrepreneur and before focusing more on investments, I was working for big companies that you see here, like Accenture, where I started my career, and my last regular job was at ING Bank. But what's more relevant for most of you is that I started building a company called the Startup Buddy in 2016. And that company was based on a lot of the stuff that I did prior to that, but also on a problem that I noticed that a lot of entrepreneurs, especially at the time, had very little access to help to learn how to build a business. By now, this market has actually developed a lot. So by now, depending on where you are, there are a lot of programs in many countries. But still, especially if you're, for example, in a more developing country, like Indonesia or Malaysia or Philippines, it's very hard to actually get support and knowledge about how to build your business from scratch. I'm very aware there's platforms like Google and ChatGPT, but what I learned over the years, also on ChatGPT, you're not going to ask what you don't know that you should be doing and working on. So the Startup Buddy is a platform which we also use for this program to help you build your business from scratch in the first 2 years of your existence. And we guide you through the different steps that you typically need to do to build your business. And this is based on best practices around the world. For myself, primarily in Singapore, because that's where I used to live for around 8 years. But we also use the same methodologies that companies in Silicon Valley, for example, use. So a lot of people actually mix up what different companies are. There's more traditional companies like your restaurant or a shop in the street anywhere around the world. A startup typically is not really defined like that. I like to always use the definition that's very old. As you can see, it's already 13 years old. And it was written down by Steve Blank and Bob Dorff, who are both from Stanford University in California. By the way, I'm at this point gonna stop the live feed for those who are looking online through YouTube. So if you feel that this just started to get very interesting, simply join the program or get in touch with us through LinkedIn. So thank you for looking online for YouTube.